very good afternoon and welcome to the lunchtime news here on TV1. For the Newsviz team, I'm Peruni Karunaratna. Let's first take a look at your headlines.
President returns after attending King Charles's coronation. Warning of cyclonic storm in the next few days. Many areas to experience heavy showers. Prices of sugar and wheat flour increased. Russia launches mass strikes on Ukraine once again.
First on to your top story this afternoon. President Ranil Wickremesinghe, who left for the United Kingdom to attend the coronation ceremony of King Charles III, has returned to the island early this morning.
The President joined other world leaders invited to attend the coronation of Charles III and his wife Camilla as His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen of the United Kingdom respectively. Ahead of the coronation, the Commonwealth Secretariat took advantage of the gathering of leaders in London to host a Commonwealth Summit for presidents and heads of governments of Commonwealth countries on Friday, the 5th of May, with the presence of King Charles III and President Ranil Wickremesinghe as well. In addition, President Wickremesinghe also met with the President of the Republic of Ghana and the President of Rwanda as well.
4 Rover Scouts from the Sri Lanka Scout Association representing Sri Lanka at the coronation camp organized by the Scout Association of the United Kingdom called on President Ranil Wickremesinghe in London yesterday.
The President and the 4 Scouts engaged in a cordial conversation on the role of young people in talking on the country's future leadership, where the President encouraged the Scouts to actively engage in national and global concerns, including the global climate crisis. The 4 Scouts who represented Sri Lanka Scouts at the coronation were Shalini Pereira, Arita Bandara, Asel Bandara and Sarith Fernando. This meeting was organized according to the request of the Chief Commissioner of the Sri Lanka Scouts Association, Attorney at Law Janaprit Fernando.
Social media activist Darshana was summoned to the Criminal Investigation Department this morning. He was summoned for investigation purposes regarding the Express Pearl disaster. Police said that Handungoda was summoned to the CID to record a statement as per the complaint filed by the Attorney General's Department with regard to a statement made by him in a YouTube video on the Express Pearl disaster, which was posted on his YouTube channel. Now, the Essential Food Commodities Importers and Traders Association claims that the prices of sugar and wheat flour have been increased.
Chairman of Essential Food Commodities Importers and Traders Association, Nihal Seneviratne, says that the price of a kilogram of sugar has been increased by 25 rupees. While a kilogram of sugar was previously sold at 225 rupees, its new price stands at 250 rupees. The chairman claims that the reason for this price hike is India limiting the export of sugar. Meanwhile, the wholesale price of 1 kilogram of wheat flour has been increased by 10 rupees. According to the association, as a result, the wholesale price of 1 kilogram of wheat flour will be increased to 210 rupees. The removal of the 3 rupee tax relief given for wheat flour is said to be the reason for the price hike.
SJB MP Kabir Hashim says that his party has a correct plan to recover the country from the current crisis. He made these remarks while addressing a public meeting held in Monaragala.
මේ අර්බුදයට මේ රට යනකොටම අපේ කණ්ඩායම අවම ආර්ථික වැඩසටහනක් හදලා අපි ආණ්ඩුවට දුන්නා.
When this country went into this crisis, our group made an economic program and we gave it to the government. We said, if you go to the IMF, take the roadmap into consideration. We asked them to negotiate by presenting our own conditions rather than agreeing to their conditions. But they did not accept this. If we come into power tomorrow, we have a plan as to how to recover this country, how to create jobs in the country, how to increase exports and how to earn dollars. We have already considered and made a program for this. We have taken countries like Malaysia as an example in our Asian region. Countries like South Korea. Malaysia was able to find a solution to its economic crisis in 1998 without going to the IMF because they had developed their own economic strategies. We believe that in a social market economic model, a new program needs to be created based on the models of the countries that have come forward in the Asian region. The Samagi Jana Balavegaya has a plan for that.
ඉදිරියට ආපු රටවල් වල තියෙන මොඩල අපේ රටට ගැලපෙන ඒවා ටික අරගෙන ශ්‍රී ලංකාව අලුත් වැඩපිළිවෙලකට යවන්න අද සමගි ජන බලවේගයේ සැලැස්මක් අපි සකස් කරලා තියෙනවා.
Meanwhile, SLPP MP Pavitra Vanyarachi says that the country is moving forward while the mistakes of the past are being rectified. She expressed these views while participating in the opening of the Galloya Ecological Park. Dala Salahapperuma, who was elected to parliament from the SLPP, did not vote for us, but we made Ranil Wickremesinghe the president with just 134 votes. You can enjoy the benefits of that decision today. We made some mistakes at different points. I admit that even today. We made a mistake when selecting the previous presidential candidate. We apologize for that error, but don't compare everything that we have done in the past to that one mistake we made. Don't compare what we hope to do in the future either. Today, we are taking this country forward. Without tourism, we cannot bring dollars to the country. So we must protect wildlife and bring in the dollars.
News first with the people.
The Department of Meteorology says that a low-level atmospheric disturbance has developed over the southeast Bay of Bengal area, and this system will gradually develop into a low-pressure area and then into a cyclonic storm in the next few days. The fishing and naval communities are requested to be attentive to future forecasts issued by the Department of Meteorology in this regard.
Many paddy fields in Narammala have got inundated due to the continuous rainfall experienced during the last few days. Our correspondent said that about 100 acres of paddy fields in Katupota, Horambava, Matiwala Gedara and Polgahawela were inundated due to the heavy rainfall. Meanwhile, the Met Department says that western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern, southern and northern provinces as well as the Trincomalee district may experience showers or thunder showers. The forecast also says that strong winds may occur in the western and southern province coastal areas and the western slopes of the central hills. The wind speed of the coastal areas from Colombo to Galle and Matara to Hambantota could go up to 55 km per hour. The Met Department has said fishing community and those who engage in naval activities need to pay special attention to its weather forecasts and special notices. Meanwhile, senior geologist of the National Building Research Organisation, Wasantha Senadira, says that the landslide warnings issued for the Badulla, Galle, Kegalle, Kurunegala and Mathura districts are still active.
Warnings have been issued to the Passara Divisional Secretariat Division belonging to the Badulla district, Nagoda, Yakalamulla, Baddegama and Alpita Divisional Secretariat Divisions of the Galle district. Warnings have also been issued to the Mavanella, Galigamuwa, Ramukkana, Yatiantota, Daranegala and Kegalle Divisional Secretariat Divisions. Residents of these areas must be vigilant as landslides, mounds of earth, collapsing and earth sinking may occur in those areas.
3 people have been reported missing from drowning in the Veyangoda and Busa areas. Now police say that among those missing is a 14-year-old child. A young couple who went to bathe in a branch of the Attanagalu Oya in Veyangoda have been reported missing from drowning. Our correspondent says that the couple drowned when they went to bathe in the river last evening. The man reported missing is a resident of Veyangoda, while the woman is a resident of the Labutanna Kudaoya area. Police say that they both were 19 years of age. Searches by Navy diving officers, residents of the area and the police are underway in search of them. Meanwhile, a 14-year-old who went to bathe in the ocean in Busa has also been reported missing. Police say that the child who was playing on the beach with 5 other children disappeared when bathing in the ocean. Searches with the assistance of the Navy are underway in search of the child. Our correspondent says that the roughness of the sea is making the search more difficult. 4 deaths from drowning were reported yesterday. 2 of them had died due to drowning in the ocean in Saukadi in Irudayapuram, Batiklo. 2 more had died by drowning when they went to bathe in the Belihulloya in Amagaspitiya.
Minister of Agriculture Mahinda Amaraveera says today he will be presenting the proposal to hand over vouchers to farmers to purchase fertilizer for the Yala season for the Cabinet's approval. The minister said that the proposal has already got the approval of President Ranil Wickremesinghe. He said the proposal recently received the approval of the Finance Committee as well. According to the minister, through those funds, farmers will be able to obtain fertilizer from the government or private sector with no obstruction. The minister also says that the fertilizer voucher system will provide 20,000 rupees per hectare.
The LOLC Divi Savya program, launched to lend a helping hand to hundreds of thousands of students who are the future of Sri Lanka, continued today. Books and other stationery items were distributed among students in the Jaffna district.
Under the Divisavya program, books and stationery items were provided to school students from the most economically challenged parts of Sri Lanka. This worthy initiative is a collaboration between the LOLC group and the Ministry of Education. The program was also carried out at the Jaffna, Badamarachi and Tenmarachi education zones. Books and stationery items were distributed to the children of the Maruthan Karni Karvil School, Allarai Tamil College, Chavakacheri College and Madhuvil Shantinayaki College.
Investigation officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority have commenced a token strike and are now refraining from engaging in field duties.
The chairman of the All Ceylon Investigation Officers Association, Kosala Ranganath, says that the reason for this strike is the attack made on one of his officials recently. Duties at the Kurunegala branch of the Consumer Affairs Authority were not carried out today, and its officers engaged in a protest by hoisting black flags. Later, the officers staged a silent protest opposite the office premises. A group of officials of the Consumer Affairs Authority were attacked in Naramala on the 4th of May when they had gone to investigate an egg farm, following information they had received. 3 more suspects who were arrested in this regard have been remanded until the 10th of May. The total number of suspects arrested so far is 7. Police say that 5 officials who were injured due to the attack have been admitted to the Kurunegala hospital. Meanwhile, it was decided to seek the assistance of the Police Special Task Force and the police for the raids of the Consumer Affairs Authority, paying attention to the attacks on the officers of the authority during the raids.
Government extends its hand of hope, this time to the central hills of Sri Lanka. A state-of-the-art renovated ward complex at the Department of Oral Maxillofacial and Oral Surgery at the University of Peradeniya Teaching Hospital was handed over to the general public. Government, for the people, by the people.
Now in news overseas, at least 21 people have died after a packed tourist boat capsized in India's southern Kerala state.
The death toll could rise as rescue efforts are underway on Monday and the vessel is pulled from muddy waters. The junior superintendent of police in Malappuram told Reuters that overcrowding caused the double-decker boat to capsize. The boat was reportedly carrying about 50 people or double its capacity when it overturned on Sunday night. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed condolences on Twitter, saying he was pained by the loss of lives. Many passengers were trapped under the boat and the darkness held back rescue efforts, according to local media. The casualties included women and children on school holiday. At least 4 people who were taken to hospital are in critical condition, according to Kerala's Sports and Fisheries Minister. Many of the passengers were not wearing life jackets at the time of the incident, survivors told local media.
Now, Russia launched a large-scale wave of strikes on Kyiv and across Ukraine, sowing destruction and injuries, officials said early on Monday, as Moscow prepares for its cherished Victory Day holiday that marks the anniversary of its defeat of Nazi Germany.
Ukrainian officials said that at least 5 people were injured due to Russian strikes on Kyiv. This was while Russian missiles set ablaze a foodstuff warehouse in the Black Sea city of Odessa, and blasts were reported in several other Ukrainian regions. The fresh attacks came as Moscow prepares for its Victory Day parade on Tuesday, a key anniversary of President Vladimir Putin, who has evoked the spirit of the Soviet army that defeated Nazi German forces to declare that Russia would defeat a Ukraine supposedly in the grip of a new incarnation of Nazism.
The Bolivian general who captured the Cuban revolutionary Ernesto Che Guevara and became a national hero has died aged 84.
In 1967, Gary Prao Samon led a military operation in Bolivia backed by U.S. Secret Service agents that defeated a communist insurrection against Che Guevara. At the time, Bolivia had a right-wing military government. An army officer executed Argentina-born Guevara a day after his arrest. The Cold War between the U.S. and Soviet Union was at its height, and Washington was extremely concerned about communist influence in Latin America, including Che Guevara's activities. He had left Cuba after the triumph of the 1959 revolution there to lead the guerrilla movements in other countries. He was a key ally of Cuban communist leader Fidel Castro and became a hero for communists worldwide. After ambushing Guevara's guerrilla group, Gen Prado was made a national hero for having defended the Bolivian military regime.
Red Bull's Max Verstappen won from 9th on grid to extend championship lead at the Miami Grand Prix on Sunday.
Se apagan, se largó la carrera. A ver, Checo largó muy bien Checo. Después
It was a masterful performance from the world champion, using an offset tyre strategy to beat teammate Sergio Perez, who started from pole position. Verstappen ran a long first stint on hard tyres, putting 25 laps later than Perez, rejoining a second behind and passing for the lead a lap later. Perez's defeat raised serious questions about his claims to be able to challenge Verstappen for the title this year. Verstappen's victory made it 3 wins to 2 in his favour against Perez in this year, dominated by Red Bull, and extended his championship lead to 14 points.
Que después de 5 carreras, Aston Martin iba a estar por delante de Ferrari, por delante de Mercedes.
And that's a wrap of your lunchtime news here on TV1. Thank you for watching. Take care.